Hi, welcome to SellerSonar. So for today's video, we're going to talk about our alerts page features. So once you log in into your SellerSonar account, the first thing you're going to see is the dashboard page. And in the very first section of the dashboard page, under running issues over here, this is where we put our top priority alerts that we track for our users. So we have here the listing suppressions, search suppressed, buy box suppressed, out of stock, buy box lost, variation broken alerts. So if you get any of these alerts, you'll be able to check on their overview in this section over here. You can actually check on them as well at the main alerts page. So you just need to go here to the alerts tab, click on alerts. So here in the main alerts page, there are currently three tabs. We have here the alerts, the events, and the delivery settings. So the alerts tab over here contains all the alert notifications that our users have enabled or turned on for specific products or product groups. While the events tab over here contains all of the other alerts that we are also tracking for your products or ASINs. So this tab not only contains the alerts that were turned on by the users, but also contains all the other changes that have happened to their products. So this is quite helpful for users in tracking the history of the changes on what could have affected their listing status. So for example, if their listing got suppressed for some reason, so they'll be able to check the history here and see if there were recent changes on the titles, descriptions, or images, for example. And then for the third tab, we have here the delivery settings page. So this is where users will be able to configure the alerts that they want to receive and how they want to receive it. So initially, once a user registers for an account, the system will create a default setup for them, which will be connected to their email address, which also includes alerts that are already turned on here in this section, which the system considers as important for product monitoring. However, users will still be able to modify the default setup that was created by the system. So this is being done to help users get started in receiving important notifications and alerts without starting from scratch. To create a new setup from scratch. So for example, you want to receive selected alerts only for specific product groups, like for a particular brand, marketplace, or managing team. You can also do that. So just simply click here, add setup, then select the product group that you want to apply for this setup. So if you have already created a product group, you should be able to see them in this list from the drop-down menu. However, if you haven't created any yet, the only option you're going to see is this one, all products, which means that this setup will apply to all the products that you're managing your account. Okay. But if you want to create a product group first, you can do that by going to the products page. Okay. And once you're done creating them, you should be able to see them here in this drop-down menu list. All right. So for example, let's select child one product group, click apply, right? The next step you need to do is to select your preferred delivery channels. So currently we have three options. We got here email, Slack, and webhooks. So currently there are no limits on how many delivery channels you can create or you can add for each of these in your setup. So for example, let's first try to add an email. Let's say email1@gmail.com. So next thing you need to do is to select the frequency of the alerts that you want to receive for this particular setup. So you can choose daily, weekly, or immediately if you want to receive the alerts as soon as possible time, or you can have it turned off as well over here. But for this example, let's try daily. And then you can also select a specific time of the day when you want to receive it, and also time zone over here that you're currently using. And then also you have the option to include a file for email and Slack notifications. So you have the option to receive a file together with the alert. So you can choose either CSV or XSLX. Okay. Then once you're done, just hit save. Okay. And once you're done setting up your preferred delivery channels for your setup, you can now go to the right side over here in this section to start customizing the alerts that you want to apply for this setup that you just created over here. By the way, you also have the option to name your setup. Okay. So let's just say this is for child one setup. Click save. All right. And then now we can check on the alerts categories over here and see which ones you want to activate for this particular setup, the child one. Okay. And once you're done with your alert setup, we just need to make sure that this switch over here is turned on so that you'll be able to receive these alert notifications into your preferred delivery channels as well that you have created or added for this particular setup. Okay. If you want to track competitors as well and create separate setups for them, you can also do that. So just simply click here at another setup and then select your competitor groups over here. So if you have already created separate competitor groups, you can find them here as well in the drop-down list. Okay, and now click apply. Then again, select your preferred delivery channels for this specific setup. Let's try naming this one to competitor. Okay, click save. So again, you can add as many emails, as many Slack channels, and as many webhooks for this setup that you can create it. So there's no limit. If you want to use all three of these together in one setup, you can also do that. However, I would like to emphasize that the webhook option is only available from our business and enterprise plans. Then for the email and Slack notification channels, they are available for all plans that we have. Okay. So once you're done setting them up, you can also customize the alerts that you want to receive for the specific competitor setup you just created. So this is particularly useful if you're tracking competitor activities. For example, their listing changes, price and offer changes. So you'll be notified as soon as possible time and be able to react faster if needed. So once you're done creating all the setups that you need, and you now start getting all the alerts, you can go back to the alerts page over here and be able to check on each of them. So to help our users find the alerts that they need, we have here a couple of filters that you can use. This is particularly helpful if you're managing a lot of brands or better cases, or if you're just receiving large number of notifications on a daily basis and you just want to filter through them easily, right? So, so you can filter them through specific marketplace, brands over here, stores, specific products, color types, or even product groups if you have already created. So, for example, you want to find alerts under unauthorized bullet point changes. So let's try this one. Click on apply. Okay. So when you click on an alert, for example, a new window will pop up, which will show you the exact changes that were made. So here you will see the specific ASIN, the marketplace, and the exact changes that have happened over here. So it's more likely before and after of the set event for this alert. Then if you need to create a Trello task for this alert, for example, if you're using Trello in your team or in your account, so you can just simply click here, create Trello task. So once you click on this button, it's going to route you to your Trello account. So you can create a task for this one in your Trello. Okay. And if you scroll down here, you'll be able to see here other product alerts as well for the specific case in over here. So it's more like the history of all the other alerts that have happened under this specific product over here. And also, if you need to create a notes or leave some comments for your other team members, you can also do that by clicking here in the add comment section. So this is quite helpful if you want to leave some notes as to what happened to this alert, for example, or if you want to leave some updates for your other team members regarding this specific alerts. Okay. Then also, if you have set up delivery channels for this specific alert type, it's going to show up over here. So in this example, we got here delivery channel for an email under this email address. Then you can find this one under alert setup named child one, then delivery schedule over immediately over here as well. And exports says yes. So speaking of export, if you actually need to export the entire list for this specific alert that you've selected, You just simply click here in the top right corner, export, and then select your preferred file format, either CSV or XLSX file. I think that's pretty much it for today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.